Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Friday Charge, brought to you at Geek Studios. As always, I am Sebastian, and I am joined by my co-host, who the YouTube comments tell me has a nice face, but they'd rather see pictures of the car, the one and only Mr. Joel Spencer. And today, August 13th, 2026, we've got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about the R1 and some changes there. We're going to talk about the rich man's Escalade, because apparently it needs more. Joel's going to talk a little bit about the Kia EV3, and there's a couple other topics to go through. So without further ado, let's plug in and get started. All right, our first talk of the night, now that I've distracted Joel by reading a YouTube comment that he didn't know was going to be in there.
I saw it before, but I forgot about it. So.
I think Joel's going to have that framed behind him, because I think that's the first time a YouTube comment's ever told you that you have a nice face.
I know, but they want to see more of the car. I'm like, thank you.
Your face is nice, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. That's apparently what they're saying.
Yes.
All right. Anyway, sorry.
Now I have a big head. So how's that work?
So there's some new changes for R1. Rivian announced a few changes for the R1 models for the 2027 model year, including they are finally adding the #1 most requested feature to the R1S. Starting in 2027, you'll finally be able to get an R1S with second row captain's chairs.
Woohoo!
Wow! Woo-wee! And if captain's chairs, aren't your vibe, you can also just get a bench seat as well. The new captain's chairs keep all of the luxuries, such as heated seats. They feature individual armrests, individual cup holders, and they're able to fold flat. That said, the captain's chairs will cost you on the base premium trim, which we'll talk about that more in a second. They require the Sun and Vision package, which carries a $4,000 price tag at minimum. If you want a color other than black, it's $6,000. And on the subject of premium, Rivian is streamlining the R1 trim levels to match kind of more what is on the R2. There are now 3 variants: the premium, the performance, and the quad. The premium is the dual motor setup, the performance is the tri-motor, and the quad is the quad. On the 2 upper trims, the captain's chairs can be had for as little as $1,500, again, assuming you want them in black. Otherwise, it's more expensive. On the premium trim, so this is the dual motor variant, you now have a long range option, which they previously would have called the Max Pack, and a power upgrade, which was previously called performance. Performance is now the tri. The dual motor performance is now dual motor with power upgrade. In an attempt to streamline it, it's also a little confusing. Anyway, it looks like the range wheels are now the new standard option for the R1S, which is good. Those are my favorite wheels.
Yep.
And there's a new color palette that basically just brings the R1 or R2 colors to the R1. So you have like half moon gray and Esker silver and a bunch of other monotone colors, or green and blue.
Yep.
R1T doesn't get near as many changes for 2027. It has the same new trim levels, but otherwise the only new stuff is those new colors, and there's now a new standard all-season wheel that looks really much like a all-terrain tire, but I guess it's probably a little less chunky. Base pricing on the R1 for the model year 2027 did go up. R1S now starts at $83,990 instead of $76,990, and the R1T now starts at $79,990 instead of $70,990. However, this shouldn't be too surprising. Rivian discontinued the standard model, and in 2026, the standard model was available. So this is less of a price increase. I mean, it's a price increase for the base trim, like the base version of the vehicle. But that's because the base version of the vehicle is now what was previously the middle trim level. So not too surprised to see it, but on paper, it does look like a $10,000 increase on the R1T and a $6,000 or $7,000 increase on the R1S. Anyway, I'm just happy to see. I mean, they are listening. They have finally added, captain's chairs to the R1S. It's a pretty minor change, all things considered. But I know a lot of people looking at 3-row SUVs, they want those captain's chairs. And that's been a limiting factor for R1S kind of this whole time.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, it's kind of the way that Kia does it. You have to go up to the next trim level to get the captain's chairs, and that's the one my wife wanted, was the captain's chairs. In fact, I think a lot of people in the SUV segment are going towards even gas cars. I mean, in the Tellurides, the option is to get those captain's chairs in the second row, because a lot of people don't cram 3 kids into that second row like they did when I was growing up. Or just throw one in the back like my parents did in a station wagon growing up. Just threw me in the back on a trip. So no seatbelt or nothing. Who needs seatbelts?
It's okay. You made it this far. You survived.
I made it this far. I mean, I ate dirt, so
might be why you're
still alive.
Goofy.
I don't know, yeah. So I mean, that may be the issues I have, but yeah, pretty cool upgrades. I like that blue color that I was showing in the picture. That interior kind of like light blue and gray, pretty cool colors, but not too stoked about the price increases. But I mean, it is what it is.
Speaking of expensive 3-row SUVs, Joel, would you like a bespoke Cadillac Escalade IQ?
Only if you're making it for me.
GM this week announced Curated by Cadillac Escalade IQ. That's the model name, people. That's what they're calling this. It's the Cadillac Curated by Cadillac Escalade IQ. We've lost the plot, people.
Yes.
Anyway, but this is a bespoke program that lets you create and customize your behemoth of an electric SUV to be a true one of one. GM states that this is an expansion of the Celestiq program, which, I'm sure they weren't making that many of those. And each Cadillac Curated by Cadillac Escalade IQ will be hand-built in Warren, Michigan. There are more than 160 exterior colors to choose from and 44 interior colors that you can pick and choose throughout the cabin. So you could have like the first row seats be a certain color and the second row seats be a different color and the third row seats be a different color. Or like in that picture, have the inner seat and the outer seat be different and the cup holder center console cover be a different color and door panel and, all the things could be different. You get to pick. The curated cars will get their own special VIN number. That is in the press release. I don't know what that means. Isn't a point of the VIN number that they're all different?
Yes.
They're all unique.
Yeah.
So I would love to know.
Hence the name vehicle identification number. Maybe they're going to start with a different letter.
Yeah, I guess if it's technically a different model, then I guess they will all have a different VIN number than the other Escalade IQs.
Yep.
Like a different series. But yeah, the press release was like a special VIN number. And I'm just like, what the heck does that mean? They will also have a serialized builder's badge in the interior so that it'll be like a, number 250 out of 300 or whatever. Cadillac will charge potential customers an additional $55,000 to receive the hand-built treatment. And of course, this is on top of the base IQ price of $127,000. And something tells me that you cannot get the Cadillac Curated by Cadillac Escalade IQ in the base trim level. So it's probably not going to be $55,000 on top of $127,000. It's probably going to be $55,000 on top of $150 or $160.
We're looking at $200,000 on this. Yep, $200K.
Right, because something tells me you can't just buy the one that has no options and then have them do all this bespoke work to it. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. I guess that is the definition of bespoke: is you can have it literally however you want. So obviously this is not that important, and you and I will never have to worry about the woes of designing our own Escalade IQ. Sorry, Cadillac Curated by Cadillac Escalade IQ.
They couldn't have just called it Curated by Cadillac. That's it.
Or just call it the Cadillac Escalade IQ and put something at the end just to indicate that it's a special one.
Curated for your pleasure. There we go.
I don't know. That's the name. It's neat. And this is interesting because I'm sure, again, they weren't selling that many Celestiqs, and I guess they had all those people working for them that needed something to do.
I think this is an option they should bring to all their vehicles. Why not? You got it there.
The Cadillac Curated by Cadillac XT4.
XT4, Optic, Lyric, Vistic. I think it's a cool idea. It's like going to Lazy Boy, picking out whatever pattern you want on your couch. I mean, why not?
I'm sure Cadillac would love to hear you refer to it as Lazy Boy.
Lazy Boy. I mean,
to Lazy Boy.
When you go to Lazy Boy and you buy a sofa, they're like, here's a color palette of 200 things you can do with it. We're like, cool.
Come on, it's Herman Miller. You're supposed to compare to Herman Miller.
Well, Lazy Boy, because I just remember them asking about that when we bought our couch. Of course, we just went with standard beige, but that's what we did. we didn't curate by Lazy Boy. But yeah, I think it's I wish more manufacturers would do this. I mean, to get some just off the wall, that's rainbow color. That's kind of a pink.
I mean, really?
Yeah, it's cool.
Like, obviously, there's the hand built aspect of this. Like, it's not being built in the actual it's not being built at factory zero with the other big ass battery GM EVs. It's being built in a special hand built facility. So obviously it's a hand built component.
Yeah.
But this whole bespoke idea is how you used to order cars.
Yes.
You would get the little sheet and you would pick every option that you wanted and the things you didn't want and the colors and the interiors, and you could really do it however you wanted. Yep. Every car was bespoke in a way, and that's where these whole like the Marty sheets or whatever that you see the Mustang clubs and the Corvette owners or whatever do. It's like your car is one of one that has this option, this option, this option, this option. Which if you really read into what it's actually saying, your car is not one of one. Yeah. But the way they present it, it's you're the only one who has the one that has air conditioning and a 6 CD changer on a beige interior with red. It's like, okay.
But that would be cool is once you like go through the process, it would tell you in the corner, this is 1 of 250 or this is 5 of 250. So, you know, 4 other people did this exact same one that you did. I like this idea.
I imagine with 160 exterior colors and 44 interior colors that you can really combine and do whatever you want with, you're probably not going to have that many duplicates.
Nope.
Because I don't imagine they're going to be selling that many of these.
Totally agree. Lazy boy that thing up.
All right. And now on the complete other end of the spectrum, Joel, let's talk about the Kia EV3.
So Kia kindly, I can't talk either tonight. Kia kindly unveiled the EV3 for North America, pricing, specs, all that good stuff. So I have a full video about it. I'm just going to go down and give you the basics. If you want to go back and watch that super long 11-minute video, you're more than welcome. So was
before
14?
We get too far into it, Joel.
Yeah.
Is there a Kia curated by Kia EV3?
There should be. I would love that. I'd love it. Wouldn't it be cool if you could do it down, like take out the accessories and make the car cheaper?
Out the features.
Take out the features. Just give me a piece of wood and seatbelts, and that's all I need. So yeah.
Give me the Escalade IQ with like the Chevy Bolt battery.
It was Chevy Bolt battery and the 18-inch tires. So all right, enough about that. Let's talk about the Kia EV3. So drum roll, please. The lowest end, which is the small battery, the EV3 Lite. So they're keeping with the traditional naming of the current EVs: Light, Wind, Land, GT line. Yes, starts at $29,890. If you include that destination, that's $31,385. Everyone. So beating initial.
That high?
Yeah. So they did state that that's beating their initial manufacturer estimates. They were thinking 35. They got it down to 20 at 9. Very good. Has a good EPA. I will tell you this, and you could agree with me. No one's buying the single motor one here in the States. So I doubt they do because
or the small battery.
The small battery. Sorry, the standard.
Okay.
The standard battery. The 58.3 kilowatt hour battery. That one, because it only gets you 221 miles. That's only going to be found in the Light. No one's going to buy that here in the U.S. The larger 81.4 kilowatt hour battery extended range pack, you get 321 miles of range. Full wheel drive trims and 280 miles on the all wheel drive trims. So kind of similar probably to what you're getting with the EV6. You get the distinct trim levels. You get the spanning from the entry level Light, I said, which is $29,890. You get the Wind for $34,900. You get the Land for $38,400. The GT line for $43,400, and the top tier GT, that's weird how they do that, for $45,000. So spec'd out top line, you're looking at $45,000.
I'm really surprised on this that Kia is not doing a Light and then the Light long range again.
Yeah,
so it's Light the base
or Wind.
model, but big battery. I'm surprised they're not doing that again. I wonder why.
Yep. I don't know. I mean, that's what we have for the EV9. We have the Light long range. Maybe that forces everyone up in that Wind line.
Right.
Native NACS. You get fast charging, but it's not the 800 volt architecture. It's 400 volt, which is not bad. It's going to get you 10 to 80% in about 29 to 30 minutes. So on the big battery.
Standard for the U.S. market.
Standard for the U.S. market. But you do get those, like we talked about before with Hyundai, you get those performance and simulated gear shifts on the GT line. So which incorporates the virtual gear shifts. You get the flagship level interior and practicality. So it does do, I believe the GT and the GT line will both do vehicle to load. I'm not sure about the other two trims. I got mixed comments about that. Or I believe and this is what I'm thinking. I believe all of them will do vehicle to load. I'm thinking maybe the GT and GT line may do vehicle to home. That's what I'm thinking. You could pull that up maybe if you want to find that.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's look
and then,
together.
And last thing I want to say while you're looking that up is it's replacing the Nero. So Nero EV, so long, farewell. It's time to say goodbye. But it's actually coming in $10,000 cheaper than the Nero EV right now, which I did not know the Nero EV was like. That was like a $48,000 car. So yeah. So this is going to compete with the Bolt, the Leaf, the Equinox. That's its kind of competition range. So yeah. But I kind of found some mixed stuff about that vehicle to load or vehicle to home.
So it looks like, if I'm reading this right, it's kind of like our cars, where I think it will, if it's, I hate going through these little, because you have to figure out exactly where they want that feature to be listed. But if it's what I'm thinking, the way they list it, it's like onboard vehicle to load, which means both outlet on the interior.
Yes,
but it
that's
will
what I'm
still
thinking, yes.
do the power outlet through the charge port, if I'm guessing right. Just the question is, where do they mention it at all?
Yeah, I just kind of did some scanning after we had some comments about it. Some people saying it's only the GT and GT line. That's what I was thinking. But it said that there were other standard options available for vehicle to load at the other ones, which I'm thinking it's just the plug in the back of the middle seat that you can use. You really can't offload to the grid. I don't think on the lower end models, but I could be wrong. I haven't seen anything about it. If I'm wrong, someone's going to tell me in the comments. So all those Kia EV lovers out there, if I'm wrong, put it in the comments. But that's what I was thinking it was about.
Their website is...
It's about as good as their software, yeah.
I mean, it's got all the information. It's just the organization of it could be better. You know what I mean?
Yep. Then, goodness, that's a lot of stuff you're looking at.
Yeah, it's like they give you all the details, but onboard power generator.
You can't do Control F?
Load, located in the rear seat. Yep. So see, that's why that's my question.
So it says onboard power generator. It's not available until you get up to the top two.
But if that's just the outlet in the seat, will it still support the little adapter like you have?
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm thinking. You'll probably need the GT line for. That's what I'm thinking. Like my car has both. It has a little plug in the back seat that I can just plug stuff and power into, and it does the vehicle offload too. I'm thinking from what I've read, that's what it is.
My car doesn't have the outlet in the back seat, but I can still use the charge port adapter. You have to go to a higher trim level on the Ioniq 5 to get the outlet behind the seat. Yeah. So that's why I'm like,
you think HMG would try to keep everything consistent? Probably make manufacturing a whole lot easier. I mean, or do they pit people against each other?
When I was reading, I want to say that it said it was standard.
Yeah, that's what I kept saying. But what I heard was standard vehicle to load. So I don't know if that was like a standard version of it or it came standard on it. That's where I got confused. It doesn't take much to confuse this old man.
Vehicle. I mean, this is from Car and Driver. So, I mean, they could be wrong, but they were usually pretty good. Yep. Where's my Control F?
You broke the internet.
You got me off the deep end now.
Hey, that's okay. My wife just figured out the Control F thing today at work when I showed her it. So,
I mean, I know about Control F. I just, you know.
Yep. I figured you did, tech guru. But but while you're looking at that,
is standard, allowing users to power devices and charge other items.
See, it's vague. Is another item my house, or is another item a coffee maker?
To me, standard means they all have it.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah. I guess we'll find out. So my question to you, Sebastian, does that price in this car, does that intrigue you? Because you like little cars like that.
So, I mean, I would, like you said, the small battery is probably not the one to get. There were a couple other things. I hate to pull this website back up, but I'm going to pull this website back up. I'm so sorry. There's a couple other things on these trim levels that are questionable, in my opinion. Little questionable changes to try to bump you up to the next level. And a lot of it comes down to, let's look at driver assistance, for example. So the light is just on the far left, and then it goes up from here. So 360 camera, you have to get the land to get 360 camera. So you have to spend at least 40 grand to get the land after you add destination. The base 2 trim levels don't have HDA2. They have HDA1,
Hmm.
which is the worst version of what we have in our cars.
Yes.
You have to get up to the $40,000 version. No, HDA2 is only available on the GT.
GT, yeah.
Which HDA2 is the one that will do auto lane changes and has the more
That's
advanced.
what my EV9 has. It has
and
auto
it has
lane
the
change
more
and all that.
advanced
Yes.
lane centering and everything.
Mhm.
But you have to go all the way up to the GT to get that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just why? Why are we regressing?
Yes.
And there's a couple other little things. The base model doesn't come with heated seats, which I mean that's the small battery one.
Yep.
But it's an EV. They should have heated seats, in my opinion. There's also convenience. No,
I saw the what is that other one? I saw auto dimming.
Yeah,
was
so like
something-
they have weird mirror stuff going on.
Yeah.
Why would that not be? Is it under here? Yeah, heated front seats not available. So standard. Once you get up to the wind travel, that's fine. It's available heated steering wheel on the wind and land, which makes me think they're doing that whole thing, locking it behind all-wheel drive.
Yep.
And all-wheel drive. So you
Yep.
only get a heated steering wheel if you also get all-wheel drive.
Ventilated only available in the
crazy.
land too. Starting in the land too.
Yep. And just anyway, I'm sure it's fine and it wouldn't be a big deal to miss some of that, but I hate the way they kind of divide this stuff out. Obviously they want to push you to buy the newer one. That makes sense. Or the higher trim level. But sometimes it just feels like it's a step too far.
Mm-hmm.
But I digress. Let's move on.
I totally agree because
longer than I meant.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. They kind of nitpick things and kind of make it weird. Like, well, I want a heated steering wheel, I want ventilated seats. We got to go to the land. I mean, they're just kind of pushed everyone to the land, which my wife's EV9 light long range, which is what she has the HDA, does the lane change assist. It has all the features, but I guess they're just specking things out differently now. Who knows?
Well, yeah, that's like
this
my
comes in
2023 Ioniq 5 does auto lane change and all that.
Yep.
Like, I don't know.
Comes in $8,000 less than the EV6 too. So
right,
that's how they stack up. But yep, that's if you want to watch more.
Only the small battery is only $5,000 less than the small battery Ioniq 5, and they have the same range.
Yep.
Just chew on that for a little bit, but
yep.
All right.
But if you want to watch that video, go watch it. It was the Wednesday release. It's 11 minutes of your life. It's a good video.
Tesla almost immediately runs out of their California EV incentives. A few weeks ago, Joel did a mini charge episode talking about California's new My First EV program. The program has officially started, and Tesla was able to start offering their rebates on August 3rd. By August 8th, so 5 days later, all of the rebates assigned to Tesla were gone. All of them. No more. California is splitting this rebate money across 13 automakers. The first to go live were Tesla, Hyundai, and Lucid. Rivian, Ford, GM, and Kia are going on later this month. And Toyota, Honda, and Subaru will start in September.
Honda?
What
are they going to sell?
I don't know. I guess some Prologues that are just sitting on the lot. I don't know.
Yep. Interesting.
It shouldn't be too surprising that Tesla sold out immediately. Tesla remains the number one player in the U.S. EV market, and they're still the number one player in California. Lost my train of thought. Sorry. According to the California New Car Dealers Association, Tesla sold 45,953 vehicles in the state in the second quarter of 2026.
Wow.
That's almost 500 cars a day.
Wow.
So far in 2026, Tesla has accounted for almost 57% of all EVs sold in California in 2026.
It's impressive.
So shouldn't be surprised that they're doing this. But
now, at some point, if these manufacturers, I like the idea of spreading the wealth, that everyone gets a fair shot. But at some point, I think if you don't use the credit, it bumps back to someone who is getting it. So if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Yeah. So like if after 9 months, Honda hasn't used up their credits, they can go just to a general pool and anyone can use them. So
right.
Yeah.
Because Honda's not selling EVs after the Prologue.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yep.
Let's talk about Waymo, because their next gen EV Waymo robotaxis are scaling rapidly. At Waymo and Magna's factory in Arizona, Waymo now has almost 1,000 of its new Ojai robotaxis sitting on the lot, and almost 72% of those are already converted and equipped with Waymo's robotaxi hardware. And just to kind of let you know the speed we're talking about here, at the end of June, at the same lot, there were only 500 cars total. So we've doubled in a month. And this is the first time Waymo's other new robotaxi was spotted at the factory, with 12 of the converted Ioniq 5s seen on the lot alongside the Ojai. The Ojai is expected to be the main vehicle to replace the company's Jaguar I-Pace taxis. And yeah, so this is only talking about the ones that are actually like at this lot to be worked on and converted, but they just imported like 3,200 of these things.
Yep.
Like 3,200 more, that is. So they're moving at a pace, like they're moving pretty quick, and we'll see how long these I-Paces continue rolling around, or are they going to, build capacity first before they start replacing the older model that's probably pretty expensive to run at this point.
Yeah, I mean, this is cool. I'm trying to pull up a video here and take the audio out. I'm having trouble finding the mute button, so hold on here. Give me a sec. So there we go. So I will go back to sharing the screen now and kind of show you what these things look like. Share. I'm trying to do too many things here. There we go. So that's kind of you see what they look like on the lot there. So look at all those, Sebastian.
Look at all those trees. But
Look
yeah,
at all
I mean,
those.
it's a lot of these happy little vans.
Yep. Oh, they look cute. It's like a little smiley face in the front or a mustache. looks like Ted Lasso. So with the wipers up for some reason.
Wipers. Yeah,
I know. It looks like a Kia. It kind of looks like a long soul or something is what it looks like. But yeah, that's a lot of them. Pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, this is really cool. I mean, we've had a great Waymo experience, and this is kind of awesome. So yeah, I don't have really much to say about it, but this is just kind of cool.
And the next topic was one that I put in here just because I think they're cool. And I saw an article about it earlier today, and I was like, oh, we could talk about it a little bit just because it is cool. And if you don't think it's cool, I'm sorry.
Yep.
We're going to talk about electric fire trucks.
Whoop, whoop.
A long time ago, we did a story on how DFW would be getting some electric fire trucks. This is expanded to include Dallas Love now. And Dallas Love officially has theirs now. These things are so cool. So Dallas Love announced that they are officially opening Station 21, where the electric ARF fire truck will reside. This new station has a 400 kilowatt charger to keep it topped up. And Dallas Love also states that they'll use these chargers to begin electrifying even more of their fleet, which is cool. Always happy to see more and more electrification. And an airport makes a lot of sense because pretty small window, lot of idling, a lot of short distance travel, something that you can literally just get in and go and not worry about start and stop cycles and everything, just adding more and more wear and maintenance. Big win. Anyway, the most interesting stat from all this to me is this. The truck can do 0 to 50 in 20 seconds. Or sorry, under 20 seconds, which I understand that doesn't sound that great. Should I remind you that this truck weighs 91,000 pounds?
It's a big boy.
Does that change your perspective a little bit?
Yes.
And acceleration isn't the only area that electrification helps on this. The electric water pump on the truck can shoot water 250 feet. The diesel version can only do 190 feet. The electric water pump is rated to move 2,370 gallons of water per minute.
Woo!
Rosenbauer, the manufacturer, expects this truck to be able to handle 90% of its daily operations on battery power alone. Of course, since this is an emergency vehicle, there's no room for the battery to be dead. So there is a diesel generator on board for if it has to go out and the battery is low on charge and it can't keep up or whatever else. It has backup systems in place.
Cool.
But with these 400 kilowatt chargers available to them, hopefully they'll be able to keep it topped up whenever it's not in use. And hopefully it just won't need to be in use that much because we won't have emergencies at airports.
Yes.
But yeah, I just think these things are so cool. And I especially love that. I mean, they're doing this on the ARF platforms, it seems like first, which are the biggest and baddest of the fire trucks. Because
it's a massive beast. It's a massive beast. How do you even... can't even imagine. Better be some good concrete out there. Well, I guess if it's holding the plane, it can hold a fire truck.
Airplanes,
so.
Yeah.
Yep.
That weigh 500,000 pounds or more. Yeah.
And you have to think on these, a charge is probably going to last a long time. I mean, these
Yeah.
things
Unless
are
it's
not
actively
traveling.
working, and then
Yeah. Yes. And then it has, like you said, the diesel generator. But still, you don't have a lot of fire truck usage at airports, thank God. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's another too, talking about kind of, they mentioned in there and I didn't write it in my notes, but one of the things they said would be huge on this is that it's quiet.
hmm
You don't have the sound of the giant diesel engine and generators and everything on board, so that then communication is easier.
Yep.
And that was, this is going to get a little sad here for a moment, but earlier this year when there was the incident where the plane, Air Canada plane landing at LaGuardia collided with a fire truck,
hmm
one of the kind of initial contributing factors that they believed played into it was that the fire crew could not hear air traffic control
hmm
over the sound of it, because they had already been cleared. They had already started accelerating, and then they couldn't hear them say stop. That was one of
Yeah.
the things that was discussed. And so this is an electric fire truck that is quiet and does not make this noise. You can communicate
Airports
better.
are
You
loud
can hear
enough
better.
already.
You can,
So, yeah.
yeah. So that's a huge safety win as well.
Love
All
it.
right. That's the last of our scripted topics. Joe, what do you want to talk about? What do you want to ask me?
I want to know how your comma 4 experience went.
It's been interesting.
You've done very short drives with it, correct? Yeah, correct. I mean, like 25.
I've done like my commute to work and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
some trips up to like Benton and Little Rock and coming back,
Yep.
but not anything crazy yet.
So what's interesting about it?
The initial, really, like when you first boot it up and you just go drive, the fact that it kind of just immediately works is really cool.
Mhm.
You get in, you hit the button to turn on your lane centering or your cruise control. That is one thing. So by default, OpenPilot is kind of the default comma software. And if you watched Monday's video where I talked about kind of an overview of the device and installing the device, you kind of hear me talk about this some. But OpenPilot only works with cruise control active. So you can't do like lane centering separate from cruise or anything like that. So after my first drive, after seeing, holy crap, this thing just works, I went ahead and installed a fork of the software called Sunny Pilot, which allows you to separate cruise and steering. Because there are times like I want to be able to do lane centering, but I want to be in control of the throttle. Especially if you consider like stop and go situations and things like that. But interstate wise, pretty solid, pretty perfect. Did a awesome job. Does automatic lane changes, no hands. Like as long as it can see your face, you do not have to put your hands on the wheel.
Interesting.
Which is awesome. My commute, mostly fine, except for when it's not.
So it goes from like 0 to crappy in like 2 seconds. Like
it's one of those things. It does a really, really good job, and it does a good job on city streets most of the time. But then it will randomly miss, and that's why it's supervised. It's a level 2 system. I think Comma has stated that they don't really expect or want this to be more than a level 2 system. They want you to have to supervise. They want you to, you to ultimately be in control. But there will be times that you'll notice it'll like be going through a corner or like going around a light curve or whatever, and it'll either like steer too sharp or not steer enough, or it started doing this. I need to dig more into it to figure out. So one of the things with Sunny Pilot is there are 11 models to choose from. So like there's the software, but then there's the driving model that it uses to figure out the road, right? Right now, I'm just running the default one, the one that it comes with, and does largely a good job. But I wonder if a different model would maybe behave on those things slightly better. Because one of the things that gets to me right now is it kind of popcorns when you're coming to a stop. I don't know what other way to describe this. Joel, you and I will take this out on the road and we'll record and we'll do a video so you can kind of see this, what I'm talking about. But like it will popcorn as you're slowing down. So like you'll get to where you're almost stopped and the wheel will just start going, yelp, 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 yelp. And then you'll stop and then it'll do it a couple more times while you're not moving.
Have you like researched online to see what that's causing?
I've done some light digging on it. But not too much crazy, because it's again, it's also, the system gets better as you use it. It's supposed to be learning and training and learning off of your vehicle and where it's mounted and, all the things. It's part of the whole calibration cycle, right? And so part of me is just like, it was like, maybe it'll stop eventually. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, it's just weird because like I'll be like downtown Central Avenue and it'll be working and doing great. And then as I'm coming up to a stoplight, it'll just Just like, what is happening?
almost like it's calibrating something or something when it's doing that.
My running theory on it is because as it's stopping, the camera is processing less and less data.
Mm-hmm.
And so then is it like having less and less data to figure out like lane lines and where it's supposed to be? And so then it's trying to overcompensate for it, and then you stop, and it, eventually stops. Because sometimes as you start moving, it'll do it again and again, and then pick up, and then start straightening out, and then it's fine.
Have you noticed? Now you've had it for about a week now, or 5 days. Have you noticed it getting better as you've used it, or not really yet?
So I want to say yes, but it's been like very minor things.
Okay.
So I noticed the first time I used it on the interstate, it did a really, really good job, but I could feel like it was pretty constantly putting a little bit of input in, like a little bit of just like trying to really hard to keep you perfectly centered in the lane. Actually, not even perfectly centered in the lane. I really appreciate it does a good job for the most part. Like if for example, I'm in the left lane, it's going around a truck, it will nudge itself to the left of the lane.
See, that's what FSD does too. Yeah.
It will make space most of the time, which is nice. But it's like, I wouldn't call it ping pong because it's not actually bouncing from lane line to lane line, but just like little adjustments. And it was just enough that because of the way it was doing it, it was like I could feel myself going a little bit as I was going. But then on the way home, it didn't do it at all. It was perfectly smooth like butter. And so I don't know if that was just the lighting was different that time of day or if it was just better, because I haven't really noticed it since commuting to work, but I don't drive on the interstate commuting to work.
How was the install? Pretty straightforward?
The hardest part was making a video.
Yeah.
Because really to install, all I needed to do was pop that little mirror cover off.
Yep.
Which is the hardest part because you have to figure out how it slides on and the clips work.
Breaking
unplugging the harness from the vehicle's camera, plugging the comma harness in, getting it mounted, tucking the cable up in the headliner, putting the mount on the windshield at the right height, centered on the windshield, stick it on, plug it in, and I'm done.
So it's almost about the extensity of installing the cam fit. Yeah. Yeah, about that.
Basically, it was basically the exact same thing except only one cable instead of two.
Yeah. You spend most of trying to figure out how to get the bracket off and the bracket on. That's the heavy lifting part of it, how it slides.
And there is an additional cable which I need to the stuff bought in so I could actually hook up.
Yep.
So I could have two things plugged into my OBD port.
Oh Lord, that's big.
It'll tuck up out of the way. That's why it's flat.
Yeah.
That way I can have the comma power hooked up so that it can have power all the time.
Okay, gotcha.
Because that helps it because it wants to upload like training data and whatever when the car is parked and at home connected to Wi-Fi. But if it shuts off as soon as you turn the car off, it's hard to do that. It's hard to upload anything.
That's what. See, I'm excited. I'm excited. Hopefully you let me, which you should. I'm telling you, you have to. I want to experience it myself this weekend when we're out in 105-degree temperature, making content for you people. Better respect. Better be nice to us.
Yeah, if we look bad in the comments, don't tell us.
Yes, if our shirts are soaked, if our hair's wet, it's 100. It's gonna be 102. That's just temperature wise, y'all. That's not including heat index, which will probably be like 108, 109.
And sun load and everything else. Yeah.
Yes, it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be shiny. We're gonna be glistening. Just deal with it. We're doing this for you people. Deal with it. So yeah.
And on that note,
wrap it up.
That's a wrap for today's episode. Thank you all for plugging into the Friday Charge. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube. And if you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, tap that follow button and leave us a quick rating. It really helps the show grow. So long, everyone, and we will see you on the next episode of the Friday Charge.